I want to say warning. What you're about to see is graphic. If you're queasy and can't take blood, don't watch. I'm in a little bit of shock. It's mental shock, I believe. I'm a little bit dizzy and queasy, but this is life. This is real life, and in the country, real life in an off-grid environment. And accidents happen, and I just yeah, I'm really dizzy. But see, there's nobody around that can help me, and so I have to deal with this. My landlord and the people at the house are old, and so they won't be able to do a thing for me, and I can't contact anybody else. I did call my mom to sorry, I'm feeling really weird. Anyway, I don't think it's more mental than physical, but I called my mom to see about what I should do. I was working with a knife, checking the action of it, reviewing a knife, and it was it's sharp, and it has this thumb lock, and I was flipping the lock to close the blade, and my thumb tip, I just cut off the tip of my thumb. You can see. I don't know if you can see that. I think that's gone. I think that's done. That's a goner. I think that's going to be a loss. See, it's really bleeding. I'm trying to let it stop. Sorry, I'm trying to let it stop bleeding. Yeah, that's gone. That's going to be a total loss. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to. I had the towel on it to stop the bleeding, but unfortunately, when I took off the towel, the towel stuck to the thumb tip and peeled it back off and caused it to bleed again, which is causing me to feel queasy again, which is really stupid. But anyway, what I'm doing, I wish I could push it back in place, but I don't think I should right now. I don't think that it's a good idea to reopen the wound, so I think that's going to be a total loss. That thumb tip is going to be a total loss. And I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take care of this myself. So again, what I'm doing right now is I'm going to try to I'm just letting it stop bleeding. All right, and then when that's done, then I'll get my first aid kit out. I'm going to patch this up. I've had worse. I one time cut myself down to the bone with a razor blade, and I was trying to cut a gas line with a super sharp knife and goofed. So I've had worse, but it's not a nice feeling. This is only the second time I've had shock. It's mild. It's only mild shock, but it's a queasy, headachy, dizzy feeling. It's really weird. This is a mental shock. The one time when I saw my own bone, that was a real shock. That was extreme. This is just a mental deal. Anyway, when this is done, yeah, it's slowing down. It was a few minutes ago. Like I said, first thing I did is call my mom because there's nobody around that can help me. And yeah, I know I called my mom funny, right? But you know, you got to call somebody who's got experience. Now I had to decide whether I should, it was hanging by a flap, and I had to decide whether I should take it off or just push it back on. And I decided to push it back in place because at least it's a cover. At least there'll be a protective cover on the open hole. And yeah, so I pushed it back on, and it's crooked, so it's not going to heal on, I don't think it's, I think it's gone. But anyway. Just gonna let this air out. It's, like I said, it's slowed down, and then I'm gonna get out the first aid kit, and then I'm gonna bandage it up, and then we'll do that in video and show you, you know, off-grid first aid, the real deal. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, so I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just showing you my daily life. This is what happens. You know, you got to be careful. I was editing a video and working the action of the knife while I was working on a video. You gotta pay attention to stuff. You can't be messing around. And out here, especially there's nobody around to help. What are you gonna do? Oh, it could have been worse. So, be back in a minute. I'm gonna wrap it up. Well, I want to say thank you again, Brian. The first aid kit you sent me is gonna come in really useful right now. I'm feeling better. The queasiness has passed. This has got Band-Aid brand, Neosporin, Motrin, and whatever Coach is. I don't know Coach. Johnson & Johnson all-purpose first aid kit. So, honestly, haven't had to use this yet, fortunately. So, let me see what we got here. I'm doing this one-handed. There's some tape we might need. Let me see. I'm going to take some painkiller, but my mom told me not to take aspirin. Active ingredient. What is it? Pain reliever. I don't know. I might be taking that. Ibuprofen. Yeah, I'll probably be taking that. Because it's a deep cut. It's going to be pretty serious. Hand cleansing wipe. I don't want to use that. It requires rubbing. I got to find out what size gauze I'm going to put on here. So Neosporin. That's the antibiotic. I'm going to put some Neosporin on there. That's definitely going to be necessary. Non-stick pads. So, well, I'm going to go through this kit and figure out which bandage I'm going to put on, and then we'll be back in a minute here. I mean, this is real life. This is off-grid living. You got to take care of yourself. So, anyway, I'm going to go through here and figure out what I need to cover this up. The bleeding is pretty much stopped, and there's just a little bit of leakage. So I'm going to, I'll be back in a minute. So I want to take the Motrin right now. And I'll make sure I don't have the pain coming on. Now, I'm not too much into drugs usually, but this is a little bit of a special occasion. In the mouth. Got some water going here. So, next thing is a Neosporin. Oh yeah, I gotta give that a cleanup, don't I? Alright, I'm gonna clean it up. I'll be right back. I forgot about that. I gotta wipe all that blood off and stuff. So I'm gonna go to the sink. Basically what I'm gonna do is wipe that with a towel really carefully with clean water. And then I'm gonna come back to the Neosporin. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, that looks a lot better. I've cleaned it. Washed it up as good as I could without disturbing the wound. So now we'll get this Neosporin open. Get the gauze pad ready. I think I'm going to put the Neosporin on the gauze pad. So I want to try to keep that sterile. What is that? What is that? All-purpose dressing. 4-ply. Okay, so it's okay. That's why it's 4-ply. I don't know if I need. Yeah, I think I should have all 4. It's gonna leak. All right, let's get this open. Now. It's good training, you know, in a survival situation, grid down scenario. This is something that, you know, I realize you've got to have knowledge of medicine and wound treatment. It's important because in a survival situation, there's not going to be anybody there to take care of you. You're going to have to know about this stuff. So I think I'm going to end up using some tape on that. Alright, smear that Neosporin right on there nice and good. Yeah, I can feel that. That's fun. That's really fun. Alright, I'm going to try to get the tape on there. This is awkward. Let me see if I can do this. Stupid phone. Let me just mute my phone. And I need, you know what? They should have put a pair of scissors in here because I don't want to be, I'm not going to use a knife on that. So that's good to note. A pair of scissors is a good thing to have in your survival medical kit. Extra pair of hands is a good thing. So what I'm going to try to do is tape this around my thumb, get it on there, and then tape it down the other way, folding it down and around. The scissors aren't exactly easy to work with on this thin tape. There we go, whatever. Alright, now I'm going to tape it down the other way and then go around. It's a lot of gauze, but I might be bleeding a little bit more. It bled a lot when I first cut it. Yeah, that'll work like that. So, yeah, it's good experience to to think about what you need in a first aid kit. It's something I'll be working on now because I really don't think about it every day. I like survival gear and tools and knives, but in a real situation, you've got to think about all aspects. You've got to be able to take care of yourself. You've got to be able to, patch up wounds. You've got to know field medicine. You're going to have to know how to deal with situations like this. I know this is not going to be a pretty job, but whatever, it's going to do it. I won't be speed typing anymore on the spacebar today. I'm going to have to learn to use the other thumb. Bummer that. Alright, well, clean up the mess, and I'll just check that every couple days, every day or so, or 2 days. I'll have to actually read some instructions because I never had to really deal with this much. Usually I just cut myself a little bit and I let it air dry and leave it alone and move on. So yeah, it's a good reminder that in a first aid or in a survival scenario, you should have first aid skills. You should know how to care for your own animals. You should be able to raise your own food. You should I mean, there's a lot of aspects in a grid down scenario. So this reminds me, I got to brush up on my medical skills. And grid down scenario, you might not have all this gear, so you've got to find out what herbal remedies are available, what natural things are out there that you can use. Because if you're out in the forest and you injure yourself like this, you might just have to deal with what nature has to provide. And depending on what time of year it is, that might vary. So, well, good to go now.